Hey everyone, and welcome. Are you living with diabetes? Or maybe you're just starting to pay attention to your blood sugar. Perhaps you've heard people say, maybe even shout, diabetics should avoid fruit. Too much sugar. Just eat your vegetables. Sound familiar? But have you ever stopped to wonder if that advice is really telling the whole story? What if I told you that cutting out fruit completely might actually mean missing out on some really important benefits? You see, fruit has been unfairly labeled as the enemy for people with diabetes. But the truth is, when you choose wisely, fruit can be a delicious and healthy part of a diabetic-friendly diet. For so long, the amazing flavors and all those incredible nutrients hiding in fruits have been off limits for so many managing diabetes. Well, this is about to change. We're here to bust those myths and get to the real truth about fruit and diabetes. Get ready to discover the 10 best fruits for diabetics. These aren't just fruits you can eat. They are fruits that are genuinely good for you. They offer sweetness and health benefits hand in hand. We're going to explore why these fruits are fantastic choices, how they can support your overall well-being, and, really importantly, how to enjoy them safely and smartly as part of your balanced meal plan. So, get ready to rediscover the joy of fruit and feel confident in your food choices while managing diabetes. Are you ready to dive in? Let's get started. Why fruit can actually be your friend with diabetes. Now I get it. It's understandable why fruit gets a bit of a bad reputation when we talk about diabetes. Fruit does contain natural sugars, and of course, managing blood sugar is key when you're dealing with diabetes. But think about it. Is focusing only on sugar really giving us the full picture? It's like judging a book just by its cover, right? Whole fruits are so much more than just sugary treats. They are actually nutritional powerhouses. They're packed with vitamins, minerals, fiber, and antioxidants. And guess what? All of these are incredibly important for our overall health and especially beneficial when we're managing diabetes. So, let's break it down. Why is eating fruit, yes, fruit, actually a smart move when you have diabetes? First off, fiber powerhouse. Did you know that fruit, especially if you eat the skin when you can, is loaded with dietary fiber? Fiber is this amazing slow-digesting carbohydrate, and it's a real game changer for keeping blood sugar levels steady. It basically slows down how quickly sugar gets absorbed into your bloodstream, which prevents those big sugar spikes we want to avoid. Plus, fiber is fantastic for digestion. It helps you feel full longer, which is great if you're watching your weight, and it can even help keep your cholesterol in check. Pretty amazing, huh? Then we have vitamin and mineral richness. Fruits are just bursting with essential vitamins and minerals. Think vitamin C, amazing for your immune system. Think potassium, important for healthy blood pressure. And depending on the fruit, there are so many more. These little micronutrients are super important for everyone, but especially when you're managing a long-term condition like diabetes. They really help support your overall health and how well your body functions. And don't forget, antioxidant allies. Fruits are packed with antioxidants and phytonutrients. These are powerful compounds that act like little bodyguards, fighting against damage to our cells caused by things called free radicals. Now, why is this important for diabetes? Well, in diabetes, something called oxidative stress is often higher. Antioxidants can help calm down inflammation and protect against some of the long-term complications that can sometimes come with diabetes. So, they're definitely on our side. Finally, let's talk about natural sweetness satisfaction. Let's be honest, we all crave something sweet sometimes, right? Instead of reaching for processed sugary snacks that can really mess with your blood sugar, fruit offers a naturally sweet alternative. It can totally satisfy that sweet craving in a healthy way. It makes it easier to stick to your healthy eating goals without feeling like you're missing out or depriving yourself. So, the real trick, as we're going to find out, isn't about cutting out fruit altogether. It's about making informed choices about which fruits you choose and how you include them in your diet in a smart way. Sound good? Let's move on. The 10 best fruits for diabetics. Sweetness meets smart choices. Number 1. Berries. Okay, let's kick off our list with berries. Berries often top the lists of best fruits for diabetics, and for some really good reasons. This colorful group, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, they are true nutritional superstars. Have you tried incorporating more berries into your diet? Why are they so great? Well, berries are absolutely loaded with antioxidants, especially anthocyanins. These are what give berries those vibrant, deep colors, and they're also powerful anti-inflammatory compounds. Plus, berries are excellent sources of vitamin C, vitamin K, manganese, and of course, fiber. And when it comes to diabetes, berries are fantastic because they have a relatively low glycemic index, or GI, and a low glycemic load, or GL. This is thanks to their high fiber and water content. This means they release their natural sugars into your bloodstream slowly, helping to keep those blood sugar spikes at bay. And those antioxidants we mentioned? They're a bonus, helping fight oxidative stress, which can be an issue with diabetes. So, how can you enjoy them? Try a cup of mixed berries as a snack. Throw them into your morning yogurt or oatmeal. Or, blend them into a smoothie. Just make sure to use whole milk or unsweetened almond milk and maybe add some protein powder to make it a balanced drink. Berries, a delicious and smart choice. Number 2. Apples. Next up, apples. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? And it turns out this classic fruit can definitely be a friend when you're managing diabetes. Do you enjoy apples regularly? What makes them so good? Apples are a really good source of fiber, especially pectin. Pectin is a soluble fiber, and it's known for helping manage cholesterol and blood sugar levels. Apples also give you a dose of vitamin C and antioxidants, like quercetin. And a tip, make sure to eat the skin. That's where you get the most fiber and nutrients. For diabetes benefits, apples are generally considered to have a low to medium GI and a low GL, especially when you eat them with the skin on. That fiber is key for slowing down sugar absorption. Serving suggestions? A small to medium-sized apple makes a great snack between meals. Try slicing up an apple and dipping the slices in a small amount of natural peanut butter. The peanut butter adds protein and healthy fats, which helps even more to stabilize your blood sugar. Or, for a warm, comforting treat, bake apples with some cinnamon. No added sugar needed, they're naturally sweet enough. Number 3. Pears. Let's talk about pears. Sometimes pears get overlooked, but they are a really delicious and nutritious fruit choice that fits really well into a diabetic diet. Are you a pear fan? Nutritionally, pears are quite similar to apples. They're rich in fiber, especially again, if you leave that skin on. They also provide vitamin C, vitamin K, and potassium. The diabetes benefits are similar too. Pears have a low GI and a low GL, so they're a gentle option for your blood sugar. And just like apples, that high fiber content helps slow down the release of sugar and keeps you feeling full. How to enjoy them? A pear makes a super refreshing snack. Try adding sliced pears to your salads for a bit of sweetness and a nice texture. Or, for a slightly more special but still healthy dessert, try poached pears with spices like cinnamon and cloves. Again, no added sugar needed. It's a sophisticated and healthy treat. Number 4. Cherries. Moving on to cherries. Cherries can be a delightful treat, even for those with diabetes, especially tart cherries. But it's all about enjoying them in moderation. Do you prefer sweet or tart cherries? What's good about them? Well, cherries, and especially tart cherries, are packed with antioxidants. Again, those anthocyanins are present, giving them that beautiful red color and those anti-inflammatory properties. They also provide potassium and fiber. For diabetes, tart cherries are thought to have a lower GI compared to sweeter cherries, and those antioxidants are definitely a plus. However, because of their natural sugar content, it's important to watch your portion sizes with cherries. Serving suggestions? A small handful of fresh tart cherries makes a great snack. Unsweetened frozen cherries are fantastic in smoothies. Just really be mindful of portion size and always go for fresh or frozen unsweetened options. Avoid canned cherries in syrup or dried cherries, as they're much more concentrated in sugar. Number 5. Peaches. Let's get peachy. Peaches. These juicy and flavorful fruits can be part of a diabetic-friendly diet, but with a little bit of smarts about ripeness and portion sizes. Do you like peaches? How do you usually eat them? Nutritionally speaking, peaches are a good source of vitamins A and C, and they do provide fiber, especially if you eat the skin. When we think about diabetes benefits, peaches are considered to have a medium GI and a medium GL. Here's a little tip. Choosing peaches that are slightly less ripe, meaning they're a little firmer, can actually help lower the GI. That's because they contain less sugar than super ripe, soft peaches. Serving suggestions? A small to medium-sized peach makes a lovely snack. Slice peaches into your salads for a bit of sweetness. Or, you could even lightly grill them for a warm dessert. No added sugar needed. To balance it out, try pairing your peach with a source of protein, like a small handful of nuts or a dollop of Greek yogurt. Number 6. Plums. Next on our list, plums. With their sweet and slightly tart flavor, plums can be a really satisfying fruit choice. Are you a fan of plums? What kind do you usually buy? Nutritionally, plums are a good source of fiber, vitamin K, and those beneficial antioxidants. They also contain potassium, and when it comes to blood sugar, fresh plums are definitely preferable to dried prunes. Diabetes benefits? Fresh plums have a relatively low GI and a low GL. And again, that fiber content is helpful for managing blood sugar. How to enjoy them? A plum is a great snack on its own. Try slicing plums into your oatmeal or yogurt. Just remember to be mindful of portion sizes, and as we said, choose fresh plums over prunes if you're thinking about blood sugar. Prunes are more concentrated in sugar and have a higher GL. Number 7. Oranges. Don't shy away from oranges. I know you might be surprised. While orange juice can be a bit of a problem, whole oranges offer some really significant benefits. Do you prefer whole oranges or orange juice? What do they offer nutritionally? Well, oranges are famous for being an excellent source of vitamin C. That's fantastic for your immune system. They also give you fiber, especially if you eat the pulp, as well as folate and potassium. Diabetes benefits? Whole oranges have a lower GI and GL than orange juice. This is mainly because of that fiber in whole fruit, which gets largely removed when you make juice. That fiber is what helps slow down sugar absorption. Serving suggestions? A small to medium-sized orange makes a wonderful snack. Try segmenting an orange into a salad. But the key takeaway here is to always choose whole oranges over orange juice. Orange juice is just much more concentrated in sugar and missing that beneficial fiber. Number 8. Grapefruit. Let's talk about grapefruit. Grapefruit is this tangy and slightly bitter fruit, and it can be a good option in moderation. Do you enjoy the taste of grapefruit? Nutritionally speaking, grapefruit is a good source of vitamin C and vitamin A. It also provides fiber and antioxidants. Diabetes benefits? Grapefruit has a low GI and a low GL. Interestingly, some studies actually suggest that grapefruit might have beneficial effects on insulin sensitivity. Now, important note. Grapefruit can interact with certain medications. So, if you are taking any medication, especially for cholesterol or blood pressure, it is really important to chat with your doctor before you start including grapefruit in your diet regularly. Safety first. Serving suggestions? Half a grapefruit can be a refreshing part of breakfast or a snack. You can also add grapefruit segments to your salads. Just be mindful of portion size and definitely keep in mind those potential medication interactions. Number 9. Kiwi. Have you ever thought about kiwi? Often, kiwi is a bit underestimated, but it's actually a nutritional powerhouse, and it absolutely deserves a spot on your fruit list. Do you enjoy kiwi fruit? What's so good about it? Kiwi is exceptionally high in vitamin C. In fact, even more so than oranges. It's also a good source of vitamin K, vitamin E, fiber, and potassium. Quite a package. Diabetes benefits? Kiwi has a relatively low GI and a low GL, and its high fiber content? You guessed it. It helps contribute to stable blood sugar levels. Serving suggestions? A kiwi fruit makes a great snack all on its own. You can slice it in half and just eat it with a spoon. Try adding kiwi slices to fruit salads or yogurt. Its slightly tangy flavor gives a really nice, refreshing twist. Number 10. Apricots. And last, but certainly not least, we have apricots. Apricots, with their lovely velvety skin and that sweet tart flesh, are a wonderful fruit choice. Have you tried apricots lately? Nutritionally, apricots are a good source of vitamin A, vitamin C, and fiber. They also contain potassium. Diabetes benefits? Apricots are in the medium GI range, but they have a low GL. When choosing apricots, try to go for fresh apricots, or if you're using canned, make sure they're packed in water, not syrup. Serving suggestions? A couple of fresh apricots make a great snack. You can also add sliced apricots to your salads. If you are using canned apricots, rinse them well to get rid of any extra juice, and just be mindful of your portion sizes. Important considerations for enjoying fruit with diabetes. So those are our top 10 fruits. But before you go and fill your fruit bowl, let's just quickly recap some really important things to keep in mind to really get the most benefits and keep your blood sugar in check. First, portion control is key. I can't stress this enough. Even with these lower GI and GL fruits, eating too much can raise your blood sugar. Stick to those recommended serving sizes, like a small apple or a cup of berries. It might be helpful to use measuring cups or even a kitchen scale at first, just to get a good feel for what those portion sizes look like. Next, pair with protein and healthy fats. This is a fantastic tip. Combining your fruit with a source of protein and healthy fats actually slows down sugar absorption even more. Think berries with Greek yogurt, apple slices with almond butter, or a pear with a handful of walnuts. Great pairings, right? Choose whole fruit over juice. We've mentioned this a few times, but it's so important it's worth repeating. Juice just lacks the fiber that whole fruit provides. This means the sugar in juice gets absorbed much faster, leading to quicker blood sugar spikes. Whole fruit is always the better option. And try to limit dried fruit too, because it's very concentrated in sugar. If you do have dried fruit, just have a very small portion, more like a treat. Ripeness matters. A little. Here's a small point. Slightly less ripe fruits sometimes have a bit lower GI because their starches haven't fully turned into sugars yet. But, don't choose fruit that's so unripe it's unpleasant to eat. And finally, individual responses vary. Remember, everyone's body is unique, and we all react to food slightly differently. The best way to really understand how fruit affects your blood sugar? Monitor your blood sugar levels after you try new fruits or new portion sizes. That way, you can learn how your body responds. Living with diabetes truly doesn't mean you have to say goodbye to the deliciousness and amazing nutrition of fruit. By making informed choices, understanding those key principles like GI, GL, and portion control, you can absolutely confidently include these top 10 fruits for diabetics as part of your balanced eating plan. These aren't just safe choices. They're actively good for you. They're packed with fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that support your overall health and well-being, all while satisfying that natural sweet craving. So, go ahead, reclaim the joy of fruit. Embrace a way of eating that's both healthy and enjoyable. Start adding these top 10 fruits into your meals and snacks today, and experience the sweet success of managing your diabetes with flavor and vitality. Did you find this article helpful? If you did, please share it. Share it with anyone you know who could benefit from learning about these diabetes-friendly fruit choices. And we'd love to hear from you. Do you have any favorite fruits that help you manage your blood sugar? Or maybe you have some questions about how to include fruit in your diet? Leave a comment below. We're here to chat and learn from each other.